بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Western societies are often described as individualistic societies. That is, they encourage us as individuals to pursue our personal dreams, values, and objectives over and above those that may be constraining us through society, especially when our individual and collective pursuits clash. We're encouraged to pursue our personal dreams, our personal values, independent of what family, of what friends, of what society tells us to do. Now, while this ideal seems very appealing and empowering, the reality of the matter is that we are all social beings. We are conditioned and programmed to act based on certain social norms. We see this in our lives, the way that we dress, what we eat, where we travel, how we act and interact is in many ways based on social norms. Now, acting based on social norms is both good and bad. Sometimes it is a very good thing because it reinforces a sense of order. Imagine if you lived in a place where every individual came to work and left work at whatever time they pleased. There would be chaos. This society, this company, this place of work would not function effectively and efficiently. Yet on the other hand, there could be the other extreme. When we go with the flow, when we follow others blindly, when that is taken to an extreme, it can have negative consequences. I read a really interesting story once about a scientific experiment. A scientist built a cage and he placed 5 monkeys in this cage. In the middle of the cage, he placed a ladder that went all the way to the top of the cage, and he placed a bunch of bananas at the top of the ladder. And he placed a trigger mechanism so that any monkey that would go up all the way to the top of the ladder and try to grab the bananas would trigger a water gun that would spray the rest of the monkeys with water. So the scientist put these 5 monkeys in the cage and began to observe. Sure enough, the monkeys were there. They noticed that there were a bunch of bananas up on top of the ladder. So one of the monkeys quickly climbed onto the ladder and he began to make his way up. Once he arrived to the top, he triggered the water gun and it sprayed the rest of the monkeys with water. They got drenched. So he came down, another monkey tried to do the same, and once again, the rest of the monkeys were sprayed. After a while, the monkeys realized that there was a trigger mechanism, that any time one of them would go up, they would all get wet. So when the monkeys would try to go up, the rest would bring that monkey down. The scientist then took one of the monkeys out and he replaced him with a new monkey who didn't know what was going on. As soon as the new monkey came into the cage, he saw the bananas and of course he rushed up the ladder. As soon as he got onto the ladder, the rest of the monkeys all jumped on him and pulled him down from the ladder. The monkey did not know what was going on. He wasn't sure what was happening. The scientists then replaced another one of the original monkeys with a new monkey. Once this new monkey came into the cage, he saw the bananas and he raced up. Once again, the rest of the monkeys all grabbed him and they pulled him down, including the first monkey. But the first monkey, who was new, didn't even know why he was doing that. The scientists continued with this experiment, replacing each of the original monkeys with a new monkey. And every time the new monkey entered, he would try to go up the ladder and the rest of the monkeys would pull him down until all of the monkeys had been replaced. And all of them partook in this ritual where they dragged the rest of the monkeys down without knowing why. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations where we think, we act, we believe, just because others have taught us to think, believe, and act in these ways. The Quran is very critical of blind following. It criticizes those who believe and act just because that is how their parents and their forefathers taught them how to act. Instead, the Quran encourages us to always use our reasoning skills, God's beautiful blessing and gift upon us, to contemplate, to think, to understand, to realize why is it that we believe in what we believe in? Why is it that we act in the way that we act? We are always encouraged not just to go with the flow, but to ensure that what we believe in is based on conviction, on understanding. That when we act, we do so based on full cognizance and understanding of why we act. In this way, we are amongst those who the Quran constantly commends those who use their reason, those who think, and those who contemplate. Thus, it's important for us to use these God given skills so that when we proceed in this life, we're not just going with the flow, but that we understand why is it that we believe and act in such a way. I ask God to give us all the capacity to use this beautiful gift that God has given us, reason and intellect, and that we are able to use this in a way that is beneficial for us and for our communities. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.